your Monday night. Thanks for joining us here. Brad Brown in the RTV6 studios. It is Horseplay for week number 2 of the NFL season as we get going here on the RTV6 app, Facebook Live, wherever you're joining us here on your Monday evening. We thank you for being a part of the first part of your week right now as we get started with talking about looking back at week number 2 for the Colts, their 34-20 loss at Denver. We're going to look ahead to week number 3 coming up this Sunday with the Chargers coming to town. And the Colts trying to figure out how to get that first win on the board after an 0-2 start to the season. We understand that you've got a lot going on over the course of your evening right now. We might be kind of your other screen. You're watching us online. You got something on right now. We've got Dancing with the Stars on as well. We're waiting for James Hinchcliffe to go once again here this evening, see if Hinch survives the first cuts there with week number 2 of that competition and the Monday Night Football game going on in Chicago, which we'll get a little bit of a taste of that, ideally coming up here in the span of the next little bit. Dave First going to give us a call and check in as he's been taking the tour of the West Coast over the first part of the last 5 days with the IndyCar Series out at Sonoma. He's making his way back here tonight and is passing through Chicago, actually. He's up at the Bears game tonight, checking out a little Monday Night Football, so he's going to chime in as well, and we'll take a look at week number 2 and that Colts 34-20 loss to the Broncos. If you are joining us on Facebook Live here tonight, make your comments with us right there. We're going to get dialed in here in the next few minutes, take a look at some of that. See what you have to say about this. What do you think about week 2? What do you think about the Colts going forward? Is it time to panic? If you're a fan out there right now, is it a woe is me? Have you mailed it in? Is it all done? Or, as we heard from a lot of these guys today, do you have a little bit of faith that this is a long 16-game season and the Colts can turn things around as we are just winding down the month of September and heading into October? Coming up here, we got a little bit of sound from your Monday here. We're going to hear from Andrew Luck. We're going to hear from Chuck Pagano as well as they chime in on looking back at the performance from Sunday, and we'll look at some of the numbers as well as we start to piece together where this Colts team has been and where they were headed. You got to take a look at this game on Sunday and take some positives away from it, if nothing else. If you really look at the 2 defensive scores that the Broncos got out of this, between the pick 6 there in the second half and, of course, ultimately that fumble recovery on the strip sack by Von Miller with a couple minutes to go. Those 14 points that they picked up right there, 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversion by the Denver defense, really was the margin in this one. Offensively, this game was even, 20-20. Colts offense, another slow start, though. Still trying to figure out how to pick up something more than just a couple of field goals in the span of the first half. The interesting stat that I heard during the course of the game yesterday, right at the start of the thing, the Colts offense on the road for 27 straight games now has not scored a first drive touchdown. Now, that's a long time. In 27 road games. You're going back the better part of about 3 seasons at this point. So that's something that is going to be talked about going forward here, is how this team can put some first quarter points on the board. They did play even with the Broncos over the course of that first quarter, playing that to a 3-3, played them to a 6-6 as well before the thing kind of got to where they were playing catch up a little bit from that point. Got even at 13 all. And got themselves in the game with 2 minutes to go, but ultimately it was that strip sack and the fumble recovery that led the Broncos to the win, and 34-20 was the final margin. Now, we mentioned that there is a football game going on tonight that happens to be up in Chicago. I think Dave First has got himself dialed in now. Soldier Field, he's there amongst the masses. It's going to be a big crowd there tonight. Dave, I know you're going to struggle hearing me because they're loud in Chicago, but good evening. Welcome to Horseplay on the road, my friend. How are things up in the Windy City?
Greetings from Chicago, the city of broad shoulders, the Windy City. We are live inside Soldier Field, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure of the legality, NFL-wise, of all this. But here we are, nonetheless. We're in one of the concourse areas in the upper deck. And I'll be honest with you, this is the Bears home opener tonight, Monday Night Football, which means you can see it on ESPN. Anyway, we're on assignments, if you will. We're shooting a story that's going to air here in a couple of weeks. A lot of fun. But anyway, home opener here in Chicago. The thing that shocks me about this is the number of Eagles fans that have somehow made their way inside Soldier Field. This is not unlike the Colts home opener last Sunday, a week ago, when we saw all those Lions fans somehow get inside Lucas Oil Stadium. Look, I've been to my fair share of Bears games. I have never seen this amount of fans from the opposing team inside. You got there we go. There's a guy over there ordering up some cocktails.
Yeah.
He's got a Eagles jersey on.
Wow.
Hang on a sec. Are you with me? Do you mind if I just walk around a little bit? Can we do that?
Give us the tour. We've already broken all the rules. Just keep going.
If I lose you, I apologize.
All right.
There are some Eagles chants going on. EAGLES, 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 Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Chicago, for crying out loud. Hey, excuse me, sir. Where are you guys from?
Philadelphia.
You guys are all from Philadelphia.
Yes.
How did you get tickets?
So the internet, right? So
wait, hold
Chicago.
that's a passing fact. The internet's never going to work.
No. So they print in money. It represents
Al Gore invented
gold
it,
reserves.
though.
It's kind of hypothetical, but it works.
So StubHub or what?
Alexander Hamilton thought about it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You've been around here, what, 5, 10, 15 minutes or something?
3 days. 3 days.
You've been here for 3 days.
In Chicago.
Oh, in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I mean Soldier Field itself.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes, yeah.
Okay, 20 minutes. Are you surprised?
recording? What's going on right
We're
now?
live on
Hi, boys. You're live in Indy.
You put me on. I'm trained in public media.
Are you?
I'm kidding. No, I love.
Okay, so are you surprised about the number of Eagles?
There's a
that are
ton of
here?
Eagles
Right?
fans. Yeah. Philly travels well.
Philly does travel well.
Philly travels well. And this is a great city.
Chicago's a nice city.
Yeah, no, Chicago's a great city. So if this comes up on the schedule,
It's a Monday night. Let's go to
in a great town.
I'll give you
Where can I watch this?
It's probably on the Facebook. It's on
Of
Facebook.
what?
WRTV Facebook page.
WRTV?
Right now. Yeah, you can see it right now.
I can't believe it either.
RTV6.
Follow him on
RTV6?
Twitter. Soft
Sir,
boy.
Follow him on Twitter.
Pleasure. RTV6.
Have fun tonight, boys.
You have a
All right. So here's the bottom line, I think, Brad. What the folks of Philadelphia are saying, they will do anything to get out of Philadelphia for a weekend.
Yes, that's a valid point. The other thing I would point out, Dave, there's a Cubs game across town tonight, so 40,000 people potentially that could be at your game are spoken for.
Yeah, no, the Cubs game, in fact, started a couple of minutes ago.
Right now, yeah.
I mean, Chicago's got a lot going on right now. You got the Cubs that are the favorite to win the World Series, and you got Chicago Bears fans that are all geeked about the season opener or home opener here. And usually, if you're a Bears fan, that excitement usually ends after week 4.
Right.
Or so.
Yeah. Photographer Dave Marin just peeked over your shoulder. He's a valiant White
see
Sox
Dave
fan.
Marin, our photographer?
He is behind you somewhere. Yeah, you'll find him.
He just left.
Yeah, he's had enough
He's chasing
already.
down more Eagles fans.
That's it. He's going to go find some White Sox fans to buddy up with. They're the only 4 in the building right now.
That's right.
The Sox are done. Hey, I know
the Sox are on the road, though.
That's
so
it. Hey, I know you
we can't make it a trifecta.
Yep. I know you had a busy Sunday with the IndyCar race out there, but you got a chance to watch a little of the Colts-Broncos game. Kind of your impression when you take a look at the result of this thing. Can you take a positive away from that for the Colts? Anything on the plus side?
I apologize, by the way. I'm getting closer to the phone, so it looks like I'm doing some kind of weird
trying to hear me.
thing.
We'll get you an earbud at some point.
I'm trying to hear you.
Yes.
I don't have the earbuds. I should have brought the earbuds. I failed miserably.
That's fine.
For that.
Any positives for the Colts?
I honestly don't know if there are any positives that you can take from that Colts game if you're a Colts fan. I mean, look, Indianapolis is nothing if not a half-full city. And if you're watching this, I don't know. I mean, to see Darius Butler come up with that interception and then just collapse because of the hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Right now, that kind of crystallizes this season, I think, for the Colts. I mean, here's the issue right now, and it goes beyond the players. I don't think Rob Kaczynski, the offensive coordinator, is helping out the Colts one bit. I just had a lengthy conversation about an hour ago. We were down on the field. Remember, this is an ESPN game, Monday night game, and so former Colts quarterback Matt Hasselbeck is here.
Right.
He caught my eye. I caught him after we exchanged pleasantries. We both at the same time goes, what's going on with the Colts? Chud is setting up luck on these 7-step drops when you've got Von Miller and company breathing down the neck of the offensive line. You can't give Luck that amount of time to throw the ball. 3-step drop and throw it. That's the best way to avoid a pass rush like the Denver Broncos have. And how many times did we see that yesterday where it was a 7-step drop, he took his time, and I don't care if you're Orlando Pace on the offensive line, Joe Wright, Anthony Costanzo, those guys one-on-one can't handle that pass rush.
Yeah. We're taking a look at some of the comments rolling in here on the Facebook, Dave. New defensive coach popped up from Gary out there. Mark pops in saying Irsay needs to spend some real money. They're spending the money. It's just kind of where it goes at this point. So it's kind of a wait and see.
Well, the talent level is so thin.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some talent there, but when they're hurt, you're going to second string and third string. And let's be honest, these guys were being plucked off the streets. I mean, it's just such a thin team right now.
Facebook Live, Horseplay, day first is at Soldier Field tonight, checking out the Bears up in Chicago. We're talking about the Colts loss to the Broncos 34-20 here. If you're joining us here on the RTV6 app, Facebook Live, chime in with your comments. We'll get along with it as well. More Eagles fans.
We got another Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Let me go talk to him real quick.
Not hard to find. Track him down.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I see you're wearing Eagles gear, as is your friend here, loaded up with Heartland hops here at Soldier Field. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Texas.
Texas. We both grew up in South Jersey, so that's where
I love South Jersey.
I love the Eagles.
I'm from Indianapolis originally, but I've had Pats.
Steaks.
Oh, it's tremendous. Anyway, so are you surprised about how many Eagles fans are here tonight?
Not at all.
They travel well.
That's absolutely.
All right, very good. Appreciate it. Have fun tonight, boys. All right. Again, they will do anything to get out of South Jersey if you're an Eagles fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chicago is a great place to be right now. If you want to be somewhere else. Monday night, man, place to be. All sorts of fired up right there. Monday Night Football. You feel the buzz?
I tell you what, the thing about Chicago Bears fans is this: they can be 0-8, and they're still going to show up in force, loud and proud as ever. That's what concerns me about this game and the number of Eagles fans that are here. You might see some viral videos out there by the time it's all said and done with some fights up in the stands. Yeah. Not me.
Nope.
And not photographer Dave Marin.
Hey, look at him working.
We're merely biased. What are you doing? But Marin's actually watching the show right now.
Marin's watching the show.
On the RTV6 app.
Yeah. Hey, he can actually hear us. That's pretty good. Yeah. Hey, you mentioned the fans showing up there at 0-8. How far does this go for the Colts if this gets ugly before it starts to turn here?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
In fact, Dave and I were just talking about that. I think, look, if Phillip Rivers has the kind of game that he's capable of on Sunday, you're looking at 0-3.
Yep.
That takes you to London and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville beat the Colts last year.
Yep.
You're easily looking at 0-4, and then you host the same Chicago Bears team the Sunday after that. I don't know. It's hard to be optimistic looking at this team right now. Will they get better? I think so. But the question is, they got to get better. And more importantly, they got to get healthy now.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Andrew chiming in. Maybe the Colts can take some notes tonight. That's a valid point. They might be able to learn something out of this. The Eagles aren't horrible. It's a decent team you're watching there.
What's that? What did you say about Tinder?
Yeah. What? No, you're fine. I said the Eagles aren't horrible. Oh, this is going really well. This is going to turn into a great broadcast. How about we cut you loose? You boys got some football to go watch. It's almost kickoff time. You're like 10 minutes to kickoff.
The Bears are actually favored in this game, and so the number of Eagles fans, if they're all ticked off, this thing could get really interesting tonight.
All right. Well, you go get yourself some hops there. You're near the beverage stand.
Hang on.
Yep.
Hang on. Let's see. You want to see what's going on with the hops? Hang on, real quick.
Yeah. What do you got? What's on tap?
I think this is fairly legal. I don't think we're getting in trouble with the NFL.
I don't think we've broken any rules at all yet.
Here's the pricing.
Yes.
Souvenir draft beer for $12 at Soldier Field.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly reasonable.
Premium draft for $10.50.
Yep.
You get a premium can. I'm not even sure what a premium can is.
Yeah, what
but
might that be?
$10.75.
That's good.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Finally, a Bears fan is here.
Hey.
Belts Two-Hearted Ale.
Yeah,
Premium can.
Two-hearted.
it's a premium can.
Okay.
And well worth it.
Too bad you guys are going to lose today.
It's another Eagles fan, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
What did I tell you?
Love it. All right. You boys have fun up there. Be safe. Enjoy the game. We'll see you back here, hopefully, and make it back. There's Dave first at Soldier Field in Chicago. having a look at the Eagles and the Bears tonight, and we're gonna cut that loose before it gets weird, because that's gonna get stranger before it doesn't. Hey, Horseplay here, Week 2, Monday night. Brad Brown here with you, RTV6 at Facebook Live. Thanks for joining us here as we are taking a look back at the Colts' Week 2 loss, looking ahead to Week 3. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, chime in here. We'll get some comments rolling through here, and we'll get through the next little bit of this as we go through. Dave mentioned kind of some of the things going on with the schedule right there now. We've got the next 6 games for the Colts on standby back there, if you guys want to get that queued up for us. And the schedule coming up here with these guys, it gets interesting just because there are games there that they should win, but it's hard to say at this point. Dave mentioned the Chargers coming here on Sunday, and that's the case. And then that trip to London to face Jacksonville, that game's such a wild card simply because you've got the travel, you've got the time difference, you've got all that going on that really turns that into just something odd. It's a division game as well, and you really don't know what to do. The Bears will find out what their record's going to go to tonight, and then Houston, that's a road trip. I believe that's a Sunday night game coming up in week number 6, middle of October, at Tennessee. The Chiefs here. No gimmies on that list anymore. That's kind of the thing that goes along with this right now. And we mentioned the Colts at 0-2. Here's the list. There's only 7 teams that are 0-2. And, of course, if the Bears lose tonight, they could also go to 0-2 on the season. That could be the 8th added to this list here right now. Here's the statistic to keep in mind, is that over the course of the current NFL playoff format, guys, you can really turn the music down on that. I think, Bill, that's plenty of music on that. Thank you. We're going to wear people out at this point. Since the NFL's current playoff format started, only 12% of teams that go an 0-2 start make the playoffs. So, in theory, statistically, only one of all of these teams might make the playoffs. It could be none of them, in fact. And you really look at that list right now, and there's nobody that jumps off the page going, yeah, they're going to make a playoff run right at this point, because they've all got really tough schedules within their divisions coming up ahead of them right now. Miami, Buffalo in the same division. Of course, the Colts and Jacksonville will play each other a couple times. New Orleans has to go through a tough division there as well. The Browns and the Redskins are a bit of a train wreck right now, so we'll see where that goes. We mentioned a little bit about luck, and we were talking about some of the things from earlier. Let's cue up some of the sound from today, boys. We had a chance to talk with Andrew Luck. He talked last night after the game. It kind of went on and on about a couple of mistakes made there. The pick 6, Denver got back, and then, of course, the turnover there at the end that really sealed the deal for Miller and Ray, that fumble and recovered for the touchdown for the Denver defense that sealed that up. Trying to get past that now. Luck kind of understands. He's a smart enough kid to know that this is not the end of the world right here at an 0-2 start. Long season ahead of him, but we had a chance to catch up with Andrew and get his thoughts on kind of, they're really trying to move past this 0-2, and as they always say, get on to the next one.
Yeah, we understand it's a long season. At the same time, there's a sense of urgency in this building, and there has been a sense of urgency, since week 1. You want to go out and get a win, and that's all that matters, really, in the NFL. We've put that to bed. We understand, everybody wants to be 2-0, but we're not, and so we go out and we try to get a win against a good Chargers team. I don't think I flew it that well, first or second half, really, but again, we had a chance, sort of at the end of the game, and we made just enough plays to hang in there. It was a very good team, and then didn't make the plays when it counted, though.
Both games you've made the adjustments at halftime if the offense gets going in the third and fourth quarters. Is there something to be taken away from that? You guys are able to kind of make that happen?
Yeah, we understand there's a lot of fight on this team, and then there is no quit in anybody. And then maybe we've got to figure out how to make those adjustments earlier, and come out playing a little better. But I think we put some points up in the first half, and I think it was a 1-score game going into half.
Yeah, they brought Luck right in the media room, and right by the door before we go from the media room back to the Colts locker room, where we generally a couple days a week go back for availabilities. You saw the hand sanitizer sign. We're all just gross heathens in the media room, clearly. They want to keep the germs out of there. Line of separation, and the fire alarm over Luck's shoulder as well. I think it's a little bit ironic with that, but that's our spot here on a Monday afternoon to talk with the quarterback as he moves on. Luck's numbers were decent. I mean, you got to remember, this Denver defense has been the best in the league over the course of the last couple of seasons. You take a look at what Luck was able to put up on the board here with 21 of 40, 197 yards. The interception ultimately got taken back for a touchdown. Got sacked 5 times, but those couple of drives when the Colts were able to come down and get touchdowns out of that, you got to remember they had 4 scoring drives, a couple of field goals, a couple of touchdowns. Dave mentioned glass half full. I've tried to do what I can to kind of generate something out of this here and make you all feel pretty good about the Colts. And the fact of the matter is that 20 points against Denver is what you're going to get. I mean, it's just one of those that a lot of teams would feel very fortunate to have that, but you're still giving up 34. Gave up 39 against the Lions a week ago. Let's look at the Colts defense. You could say what you want about an improved offensive performance. The fact is the defense only gave up 20 points against the Broncos. We say 37 against the Lions in week 1 because they got that stray safety on that wild play at the end of the game. But the defense, week to week, overall, a bit of an improvement. Less yards, passing yards were down. Of course, Trevor Siemian is not the level of quarterback that Matthew Stafford is. The rushing yards are there for Denver, but with C.J. Anderson and those guys back there, that's just the kind of thing that you're going to get. One of the issues you're going to see going forward here is the lack of sacks and the lack of takeaways. Dave mentioned the fact that outside of 3 or 4 guys, this defense is being made by piecemeal right now. That you are down to 3rd and 4th stringers, still putting guys out there that we haven't heard of, trying to play in the secondary, trying to play in the back right now. And it's really going to be difficult to make that happen if you can't put pressure on the quarterback. Again, only 2 sacks in 2 weeks and just the 1 takeaway out of that. That turnover margin we always hear about from coaches is the kind of number that just makes teams crazy. It makes fans crazy. And again, 2 takeaways by the Broncos defense on Sunday adds up to 14 points, ultimately ends up being the margin in that game. Philip Dorsett was on the end of the pass that Aqib Talib intercepted, took back for the touchdown. It put Denver with a little bit of momentum in their favor. Dorsett trying to be on the other end of luck a little more. You could tell the young guy a little bit frustrated when he talked to us this afternoon, but still trying to kind of absorb all this after another 0-2 start.
I mean, it was tough. Basically, I mean, we lost. I mean, everybody knows that. But, I mean, it was good to just go in and just be able to correct what we did wrong. And it was just this close. I mean, we were really, really close. I mean, the outcome made it, the score made it look different, but, I mean, little plays here, little plays there, and it definitely could have been a different game.
We can talk about slow starts, but you guys have been able to make adjustments against these first 2 defenses and get it right in the second half. How does that come about in halftime maybe, or in the 3rd, 4th quarter you're getting it right?
I mean, we're a really good team at adjusting. I mean, we got one of the best quarterbacks in the league that can put the ball anywhere. I mean, you got one of the best coaching staffs in the league that are able to adjust. I mean, it's always hard for us to start fast. I don't know why. I mean, it's something that we definitely got to emphasize a lot more. And like I said, we're so used to coming back and making adjustments. And once we really see what the defense is doing, I think we're really good at manipulating what they got going on.
Some more comments from you on Facebook tonight. Marla chimes in, start playing at the first of the game and keep playing till the end. That's a great point. Those slow starts are going to kill them here going forward. You got to put some points up in that first quarter. You just can't move playing from behind as much as you'd like to. Cameron chimes in, Andrew Luck isn't worth $120 million. Maybe when he wins a Super Bowl. Well, that check's been written, my friend, so they're going to have to go with what they can. David with a good comment. Horrible condition. He can't play 4 quarters. Denver part of that. Obviously, kind of the pressure playing up there and the altitude and all that. But again, you got guys that are out there playing at an NFL level that haven't played a lot of reps at an NFL level. Conditioning's part of that. It's a wicked circle of things right now going on with that. So it's a solid comment right there. Thanks, everybody, for chiming in here on Facebook Live and on the RTV6 app as well. What about the coach? What about moving forward? We're going to play you sound from Chuck Pagano. I swear this is from today, because if you have listened to this over the course of any of the span of, say, the last 4 seasons or so, this sounds a lot like what we hear a lot of Mondays after a lot of losses. This is from today, though. Getting ready for the Chargers next.
You know, you can control what you can control, and a couple plays go a little bit different in each of those games. You're sitting at 2-0, but that's not the case. It's never been the case. So it is what it is. We're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to prepare, do everything that we have to do to give ourselves a chance to get number 1, and nothing else matters but the next game, and getting a win and trying to find a way to get that first win. There's a lot of good stuff in that ball game. We gave ourselves a chance to win that game. The guys battled, came right down to the wire. We had a lot of opportunities that we didn't take advantage of, but still, at the end of the day, you get the ball back, with 1:51 to go, and you got a chance to go down and score a touchdown and win a football game. It says a lot about our guys.
Honestly, you could have gone back to 2015 after the 0-2 start, 2014 after the 0-2 start, played the first 50 seconds of that soundbite right there, and inserted it just the same. How well we've played. Could be 2-0. Could be close. Yes, it could, but they're 0-2. That's a valid point. Nick chiming in. I see us winning 5 games. What do you think? What is in store for this Colts team? Can they finish 500? Can they make a go at the AFC South Division? Is this the kind of team that can turn things around and be one of those 1/8 of 0-2 teams that makes the playoffs? Or is this the kind of thing that's just going to be a head scratcher for Colts fans as the season goes on? We shall see. The Chargers come into town on Sunday. San Diego coming in here, and this is really no surprise what they're going to bring in here. As Dave mentioned earlier, Phillip Rivers is going to come in here. They got a high-octane offense. It's going to be a physical game. They're going to try and have a shootout for this, and we will see if the Colts are able to kind of keep up. Can they still put the points on the board? The answer is probably yes. San Diego's defense is not great, but what are the chances that after giving up 39 to the Lions and having 34 put on them against the Broncos, that number might be any better against the Chargers coming up here on Sunday? We will find out. Coming up here on Wednesday, we'll hear from kind of most of those particular players and coaches once again, and we will continue our Colts coverage as the week rolls right along here on RTV6. We will do this again for you next Monday night. It seems like a pretty good time to wrap things up right now as everybody's kind of got somewhere else to go. We're going to go watch an IndyCar guy dance. We're going to go watch him play some football in Chicago. And we'll come back here next Monday night right here and talk with you again at 8 o'clock about week number 3 and start to look ahead to the month of October. Real quick update. Colin asking right now, Dante Moncrief will be having an MRI on his shoulder this week. Right now the answer is we don't know. Questionable at best, but having an MRI on his shoulder. We're expected to know a little bit more about that, hopefully, when we get back to the team on Wednesday. They got a day off coming up on Tuesday, so a solid chime in right there. And, again, something else in the Colts receiving core that really is going to shuffle the order of things if Moncrief isn't able to go in any significant form here for the next 3 weeks. He took a very solid hit and looked to be in a little bit of pain when he was in getting taken off the field there that game on Sunday. So we'll check on that and see what comes up for us on Wednesday. Thanks to all of you for chiming in here on Facebook Live. Thanks for joining us on the RTV6 app as well. We'll do it again next Monday night at 8 o'clock for Dave First, Dave Barron, the boys in Chicago, and our crew back here. I am Brad Brown. We'll see you back here as the week continues. We'll do it again next Monday night with more Horseplay right here on RTV6. Have a great night.
We now join the following program already in progress.
Light up the internet thing.
It's just fantastic.
It's the right thing. Oh yeah, it's going viral. Right This Minute, America's daily viral video show.
Right This Minute, weekday mornings at 10 on RTV6.
This is Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. You're watching the latest live weather view coming into the Storm Team 6 Tracking Center on HTSN.
Tens of thousands of people are affected by blood cancers. My parents are two of them. But thanks to the dedicated researchers supported by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, they are alive and well today. My family is blessed, but not everyone sees the same results. Cures are out there, and with your support, we can help find them. Join me October 8th for the Light the Night Walk in downtown Indianapolis to honor survivors, to remember loved ones, and to support families and current patients. Every reason to walk is a good one.
You're watching HTSN. Now the latest news headlines from RTV6.
I'm Erica Fly. Here's what's making news at RTV6 and the IndyChannel.com. Out of extreme darkness comes light. Less than a week after two men were gunned down and killed on Gladstone Avenue, a little boy is taking his request for change to the top. We introduced you to Reese last week. He is just 8 years old, but he lives in a community he is coming to fear, and he shared his heartbreaking letter calling for change. He's not only asking for change, he's demanding it. We joined Reese as he took his concern straight